something wrong with that man.
Who even are you, Harry Vanderspiegel?
Just a normal human.
No. Well,
I thought he was going to say yes.
No, it did not
So-
actually, because the time off this case was due to the strike.
Yes.
So I wasn't able to do anything during that strike time. So, but it did give me some distance from it. So when I came back to it, I could look at it a little fresh. I was doing posts, so that was helpful. Yeah, especially with the Ben and Kate characters. So for me, they were really the big grounding aspect of the show. Family, a kid, they're going through regular issues, and it's really building up those characters. And they're a good example of what we did with everybody. But building up those characters for a couple seasons till we really start realizing that these things that we know about them, Ben's fear, he grew up fearful his whole life. We finally figure out at the end of season 2 what that's all about. So season 3, in large part, is taking that further. What happens when you start sort of remembering these things that happen to you? This is a real thing people go through. Like, they had these horrible things happen to them. You know, honestly, whether it's alien abductions or whether it's bad stuff from childhood, it's not alien related. It's a metaphor for that. And it still lives in there even if you don't remember it. So the only way to get past it is to face it, and that's what they're sort of forced to do. We've never done one where Harry hasn't been commenting on what he's seeing from an alien's perspective. But I think we could do that. I mean, the reason the show's so relatable is that he's an alien arriving in this town, but he could easily be someone who steps off a bus from a different country and seeing these people for the first time. And that would work too. He's learning about what it's like to be human here. And I think that's why people are attached to the characters so much. We've never done that, but I think that would be interesting to explore that. Especially as we go further in the storytelling. The longer Harry's here, the shift from fully alien to a little bit human is starting to level out a little bit. And as he gains more humanity, I think we could explore that, having an episode where the humanity of Harry sort of takes a leap over the alien stuff and just play the human.
And we get.
I don't think that's going to work. Not just if we're,
We'll talk about it.
we're just spitballing here.
Yeah,
That just does not sound like a good
Rather happy
idea.
with us. Yeah. No.
What?
No.
Yeah.
I love you, but I don't love you. You know
Oh, what? No,
Yeah.
I don't-
Right.
Funny.
I think for
Yeah.
people who are fans
I
of the
think
comic
they wish
book,
we would get together. They ship
Yeah,
us.
but I
It's
think
the moonlighting thing, though. You always want that. When you have
Yeah.
two characters that you like and they're both attractive, you want them to hook up.
and you
Aw.
want, and they have a bond.
You do.
Right.
So it's sort of the thing of like maybe you have a crush on your best friend, and you're like, oh, I want these people to get together, or whatever, and that's okay. I don't think that that's like. I'm not saying it's off the table, and as you know, like I'm the one really pulling the strings behind the scenes. So.
in the comic they hook up.
Right.
So
But
for
they
people,
do.
so
And
that
in your head comic, they can hook up.
Right. But I like them
Mike
not.
hooks up with
Yeah.
himself.
I like them being friends.
Yeah.
And
We are.
that not having that complication, because they already have the complication of him being from another planet.
Yes. I'll be honest, in the original, when I pitched the show, and this is an exclusive.
Oh, look at this.
Because you're our favorite.
Thank you.
When I pitched it, and I had, you pitched, I had to come up with the whole first season, and then a little bit of the second season, a little third season. I had them getting together in the second season.
Did you know that?
no,
It was just for the, and
I
I
didn't
and I
know
knew it was
that.
possible it wouldn't go there, but that's here's a way to go. They get together, there's a baby, all this stuff, and this is stuff that I had pitched. That was several years before anyone was cast in the show.
Okay.
So once you cast
Yeah.
people and you see the dynamic and you see how it plays out, the thing that cuts against that in a huge way is the organic chemistry between them is incredible, but it falls into a mother-son thing. And as soon as you sort of feel that energy, you're less interested to see them. Most people.
And some
less
people are more interested.
Yeah.
so good. It's so magic. It's just he's vibrating. I don't know. I have a very clear memory of like love and infatuation and just that overwhelming feeling and how incredible it was and how just all-consuming it was. It's like that for him, and it's fun. It was fun to go back to that.
So, with first love also comes the first heartbreak.
Yeah.
Maybe. You don't
Let's just
know
say
that.
Let's just say Harry's relationship with Heather follows the trajectory of every teenage romance in the history of man.
She sleeps with somebody on the football team?
Harry has to realize, when you're a teenager and you fall in love, not only is it the greatest thing in the world, but this feeling I have right now, this will last forever.
Yeah.
Yep.
They'll never go away. And then what do you do as a teenager when you don't have that love anymore? Now you feel like I'll never get it back. Like love in my life is over now.
Yeah.
And you have to sort of learn that love actually is everywhere, and you can still find it.
Picture, not too big of a spoiler, but picture Harry with the emo hair like
That's
that.
what-
Just picture that. Get that in your mind.
So far, it's going well. I don't know if we'll see as it continues on that way.
Right.
We are certainly the odd couple, but we're both odd, so we're really into it.
Yeah.
And having
we
Judy
still-
pop in
yes.
every once in a while too is odd, but also very, very entertaining.
I think having Judy as the foil is so healthy for our friendship because we can get annoyed with each other, be like, she doesn't wash the dishes, or like, oh, she never makes coffee. But then Judy comes in as just like fully marinating in our bathtub with her hairless cat, and we're
Kevin.
like, I love you.
I love you so much.
You're good.
Don't ever
you know?
leave me. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's much more comfortable for her. One, because she now understands the bond. She understands a little bit of the bond, maybe. And she understands why Asta couldn't tell her, kind of. She's always a little suspicious and doesn't trust people. But I think also she's excited to be involved in an adventure. She sees herself as like, well, I'm one of those people that I'm going to take over in any situation. So we'll see what she does with that energy.
Because I would imagine she would want to get in on like the alien stuff. Because she's literally helped hide a body.
Yeah, she probably feels like she could, if needed, fly the Enterprise D.
Right.
And like, I
She
can figure
will
it
not.
out.
She will not.
I don't think, no. I
not
don't think we've talked about it, but is Darcy also a Star Trekkie? Like,
No.
no.
right.
Okay.
Right.
It's like, whatever, nerds.
Okay.
I think the Joseph character. He emanated everything that Mike likes to emulate. He's military trained. He's he's good looking. He tells him, I think you smell like a winner. There's just this energy permeating from him that Mike's really kind of like drawn to. I think it's a huge disappointment in some ways for him as things progress and he kind of discovers that there's something off about this guy. He doesn't know the extent of it yet, but I think he discovers pretty early on that maybe he's not as trustworthy as as he thought he would initially be. I don't know how much I can say because I can't give away but so much.
No, but there's an awareness after a while that Joseph isn't who.
Yeah,
who
because
you thought he
in
was.
that first 4 and 3, we see them, reviewing the footage and seeing Joseph kind of messing around with the evidence ultimately.
Yeah.
And I think that definitely is, a huge red, flag for Mike.
What's Liv's take on him? Because she seems to be the early adopter for everything in this town. Like, she might be the smartest person in Patience.
She's pretty spot on about everything. I think there might be a similar situation in season 1 with Cletus. I think there might be a sense for her with Mike giving his
jealousy,
attention to him.
Yeah.
That wait a minute here. We were kind of like when Lena came into the picture, and all of a sudden she found herself feeling like the third wheel. I think at this point though, she knows how integral she is to the sheriff's department, and is pretty confident in where she is, I would say.
She's confident, but she's still underneath it all. She wants your approval. She wants to be your partner.
Right.
Anyone
'Cause
that
Mike's
gets
awesome.
in between the two.
Yeah.
He smells
Yeah.
like a winner.
He
He
wants to
does
smell
smell
like a
like a
winner.
winner.
Yeah, he does.
There's some visual effects work and a lot of sci-fi stuff later in the season that is pretty great. They're all really great, and there's a lot of great moments. I know episode 3 has some great moments that I'm partial to. That some just gut-wrenching stuff in that.
Yes.
I know when you get to and they really all move. They're all great, but get into 6, 7, and 8 really drive to the finish.
And then I feel like the finale, we can't say anything about
Yeah.
it, but I will say, being on set that day, I just felt like I was having a very surreal, iconic experience. And I was just so excited to be a part of the show.
Masterful cliffhanger.
Yep.
It was the greatest.
Truly,
There's a lot of stuff.
pat on the back for this. The way this season rounds out is
Well, the whole writers' room. We have great writers.
Yes.
Ah,
work well,
screw those
work well
guys. We're
together.
talking about you.
Yeah, come on, I got the microphone.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, well,
He doesn't even make them feel better as their therapist.
I mean, there's so much
Yeah.
power in new people finding out that I do try to delay that as much as possible. But there are also ways for Harry to get involved in their stories without them knowing exactly who he is, and it leaves a lot. It still leaves a long ramp in future episodes to play with.